Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, am I really living the life I was meant to? Welcome to Female Fluence, where we stop waiting for permission and start remembering our power. I am Pearl Mashour, a mom, educator, and a women's empowerment coach. And this is a space for honest conversations about growth, purpose, and becoming who you truly are. Here, we wake up to ourselves. We release the guilt, reclaim our confidence, and rise with grace, truth, and a little bit of fire. If something in you is whispering, there's more, take the self-reflection quiz at femalefluence.com and see where you are in your journey. Because you're not here to play small, you're here to rise fully. Today, we're diving into what it really means to create success that feels aligned, grounded, and fulfilling, not just externally, but from within. We'll explore mindset, daily habits, and how simple shifts like practicing gratitude and living with intention can create meaningful change in both life and business. Today, I have the honor of being joined by David Meltzer, chairman of the Napoleon Hill Institute and former CEO of the Leigh Steinberg Sports and Entertainment Agency, the inspiration behind Jerry Maguire. He's a globally recognized entrepreneur, investor, and business coach whose mission is to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. What a mission. I love it. David, I'm sincerely honored to have you on my show today. Thank you for taking the time. Welcome to Female Fluence.
Oh, thanks for having me and appreciate everything that you do and giving me an opportunity, hopefully, to meet my goal of empowering others to empower others to be happy.
Well, you're making me happy today, so that's one person.
There you go. And then you can
There
make
you
others
go.
happy.
One
Perfect.
person at a time. So, David, you have had incredible success, but also moments where you've had to rebuild, right? Looking back, what was the biggest mindset shift that changed how you define your success today?
Well, I was always looking for success outside of me. My identity was tied to my bank account, how much money I made for good reason. When I was young, I had a single mom who raised 6 kids on her own, worked 2 jobs. She was a second grade teacher and actually packed our dinner in paper bags almost every night and filled up turnstiles at convenience stores with greeting cards just so we could eat. Never really listened to my mom, never really took her advice, but I watched her. And as I lost her last year, I realized how much I learned from her. But my identity was attached to buying my mom that house, being so rich that I could bring financial security to my family. The only thing it was missing. My family was full of love, joy, education. It was filled with so much passion and purpose, but no money. And so I tied my emotions and my outcomes. I'll be happy when I make my first $1 million, $10 million, even $100 million. And so the biggest shift to me was I already was happy. I already was healthy. I already was wealthy. I already was worthy. I had to figure out what I was doing to interfere with it instead of trying to get what I already had, because it wasn't just the wisdom that I searched for, and I still do, but it was having the faith that there was an omniscient, all powerful, all knowing source, a God who protected, promoted, loved, and perfected me at all times. When there was no evidence or the evidence was contrary to where I wanted to be, God was protecting me, promoting me, loving and perfecting me. And once I made that paradigm shift, unfortunately, it cost me over $100 million to come to this enlightenment. I went bankrupt, lost everything. But through that, over the last 18 years, I've made more money, helped more people, and had more fun than ever.
That's incredible. First of all, your mom seems like an amazing person, and I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
And I used to be a second grade teacher too, so I love that. But that's such a journey, and what you learned from it is incredible because it's true. A lot of us forget. We get stuck in this path of just more success and success. We get blindsided by all these external things that we think we need. And all of a sudden it's like we realize that that's not those are not important. As long as we have the right people, we have our health, and we are content within our heart. That's what like true happiness and true success is.
Yeah, and to clearly define that and the identity of that was so critical. I think so many people want to be happy, but they don't have a clear definition, a definiteness of purpose. As chairman of Napoleon Hill Institute, trying to get people to read some of the seminal personal development information that Napoleon Hill wrote, Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil, The Laws of Success, all are there far before their time to help to instill definiteness of purpose so that we have a definition of happiness. We're capable of enjoying every single day the consistent, persistent, without quit pursuit of our own potential, which is critical today. Not what other people want for us, not what's missing, not what we don't have, and especially not what TikTok wants from us. But more importantly, looking inside of us to find outside of us and asking ourselves one critical question, not I'll be happy when, but for the sake of what? And when we know what we want, who we can help and who can help us, how to get it done, and the prioritization of the circumstances of the day become quite easy and not dis-easy.
Very true, especially in this day and age when you just turn on the TV and immediately your mood with the news and the world, everything can change really, really drastically. So I love your mission, like your mission to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. That is like, how did you just come up with that? And what moment in your life? I mean, you mentioned and shared some with us, but what other moments in your life made you realize that happiness needed to be like the center of everything you do?
Well, as I mentioned, faith wasn't a big part of my life early on. It was wisdom and hard work and the things, that discipline would bring you. I got so busy working, I forgot to spend time on my health. I got so busy working and discipline working, I forgot to spend time with my family. And so for me, when I started to make the money back and shift the paradigm, as you said, in my life, I had bought a beach house for my wife to thank her for telling me the truth, thank her for staying with me and teaching me and supporting me. And I asked her, is there anything I can do for you in anything at all? And she said, you need to take care of yourself. And right when she said that, my 12-year-old daughter at the time came bursting into the room in tears. I said, what's the matter? She said, her friend, a 12-year-old, committed suicide.
Oh gosh.
So I lost it and I took off my shoes and I went to go walk on the beach. And I got a calling, as strange as it sounds. You're looking at someone that would not tell you or believe in God talks to you or through you or any of those things. But God called me and he said, you can empower the world to be happy, to teach them how to make a lot of money, to help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. The three things I was always good at. I was always good at making money. Wasn't always good at keeping it. 9 months out of law school as a millionaire, 3 years out of law school, my first exit was $3.4 billion with a B, when in 1995, there was not many billion-dollar companies. I was good at making money. I was good at helping people. And I certainly probably was too good at having fun. But I realized that I was capable of teaching 1,000 people in my lifetime, like you and your community, to be happy, to teach you to teach other people, to make a lot of money, to live in abundance, to help a lot of people, and to have a lot of fun. I specifically work with women and women of color, particularly for empowerment, because less than 2% of women get funded. I'm an entrepreneur. It's a disgusting statistic. And I'm sure if you take out Stanford graduates, it's even worse.
Hey.
So now I was faced, though, this is great. How do I tell people that I believe I can change the world by finding 1,000 people like you to empower 1,000 to empower 1,000, which is 1 billion people, 1,000 times 1,000. That's a collective consciousness that one particle of light will overcome 1 million particles of darkness. So if I could empower over 1 billion people in my lifetime through this process, I could change the world. But how do you tell people that in humility that you're capable of doing this? And I went to Tim Story. I don't know if you've ever heard of Tim Story, but Tim Story is a mentor of mine. He's known as the comeback coach. I'd used him to make my comeback. Robert Downey Jr., Oprah, the
Wow.
biggest names in the world work with Tim Story. And I said, Tim, he's very religious. I said, what do I tell people? Like, this is crazy. They're going to think I'm absolutely insane. Here's this guy that lost over $100 million, made it back. Now God called him to help other people make
Right.
money and help people. And he said something that changed my life. He said, David, God will not give you an invitation without already knowing your limitations. He won't give you the invitation if he doesn't already know it. So don't worry about the limitations. God has invited you. He already knows it. Do what got you here. Live your life with that wisdom, gratitude, and forgiveness and accountability and inspiration, and have faith that you're protected, promoted, loved, and perfected. And so, hold on one sec. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
So, to me, that was the calling, that was the answer. And to fill a God sized hole with anything but God would not have been correct.
I think that's absolutely true because God would not have given you that invitation. And that's what I go by for it too, because it's difficult. Like you think like, how can I do this? Am I able to do this? Will people listen to me? Will people understand me? But when you have this ability, right, that you've been given and you can share and teach with other people, you just have to do it. You have to take that invitation and go with it. It's kind of like your duty to help, right?
Yeah. And I think that's a great point is not only to help, but to ask for help. Ask
Hmm.
for help like from you. Just being here with your community of women and knowing the incredible impact that my mom, my wife, my three daughters have on my life. And for me, it's so important to ask for help because when you're able and capable of helping other people, you're at your highest self. So if you don't ask for help, you're cheating. I'm
Yeah.
cheating you and your community if I don't ask you for help. I will send everyone in your community my book. I will sign it, send it. I'll pay for the book. I'll pay for shipping. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. And I feel at my highest self because I'm able and capable of doing that. Not everybody is. And I don't want to cheat anybody by not asking for help. I remind myself every day that we all need to help each other and know people to help each other. And that's my mission. And utilizing the exercises, guides, the trainings, the daily practices will all accelerate, aggregate, and compound exponentially the outcomes of happiness that we're looking for.
They definitely will. That's incredible. That's so powerful. Now, David, you speak a lot about gratitude as a daily practice, and that's something I live by as well. I didn't always, but now that I have shifted myself into doing that, it's changed everything for me. I'm much more positive. I can immediately get into a better mood. And so how has gratitude actually changed the way you make decisions and lead your life?
Oh, it's everything to me. It takes zero point 0.1 seconds to say thank you. It's free. Everybody who I talk about gratitude with has the same perspective you do, whether they're the most powerful people in the world or a home or a houseless person, it doesn't matter. They all agree gratitude will change your life. But here's the lesson in gratitude. The simple things to do are simple not to do. There's nothing simpler than saying thank you and being grateful. It's free. It takes zero point 0.1 seconds. But
So
by
true.
tonight, right? By tonight, half of us won't say thank you. By tomorrow morning, another half of us won't say thank you. And within 3 days, once again, most of us will stop saying thank you. So for me, gratitude is everything. It gives me the light, the love, and the lessons when there's no evidence that I'm getting anywhere. It gives me light, love, and lessons when the evidence is contrary that I'm getting anywhere. It is the light, the love, and the lessons that's only seen through gratitude, of finding that light, love, and lessons, of being grateful and reminding, remembering, and recollecting with your God. What do you think you remind with, remember with, recollect with? That's right, the omniscient, all powerful, all knowing that loves you, protects you, promotes you, and perfects you at all times. And that's what gratitude brings us with. And you combine that with forgiveness, the ability to live at ease, forgiving ourselves, and not holding others hostage with the need to be right or offended,
Yes.
separate, inferior, superior, all these interfering thoughts. I will tell you, gratitude and empathy, that forgiveness will bring everything in an accelerated, aggregating, compound fashion into your life.
Definitely. And it's so true. It is free, right? It's free and you can do it anytime, anywhere. I mean, I start daily. Every single morning, the first thing I do when I get out of bed, I have my gratitude journal next to me. And that's just been my way. I used to do it in the evening, but then I get sleepy and tired and I would forget. So now first thing in the morning, I kind of just write whatever. If it's five things from the day before, it might be a tiny little thing. My son gave me a hug. Like it just something. I heard the birds singing when I went for a walk. I write that, or just when I get up in the morning, it's like, I got up, I'm here, I'm healthy, I can get up by myself. It's another day. I'm so grateful for another day. Because a lot of us, right, we don't know what tomorrow will bring us. So yeah, I think that's great. Everyone should practice gratitude daily. Now I love, okay, this is really because I am a crazy person with calendars and to-do lists and highlighting. And so when I was reading about, being a student of your calendar, it's like, it's so true. Like how we spend our time is so important. Like, and right now, obviously, in the world of TikTok and telephone and scrolling, people can spend hours and hours. And it's like you didn't do half of the things you were supposed to do because you went on social media and then you got stuck in some post and that's it. Half of your day is gone. So, why is how we spend our time so important? And how does something like the Eisenhower Matrix help people prioritize what really matters?
Yeah, well, first, the prioritization of the Eisenhower matrix of what's important and what's urgent. Just understanding what's important to us by knowing what we want non-negotiably and what we want negotiably. See, most people don't have non-negotiables. I separate my day, the 24 hours that God guarantees me every single day of my life, except for the last day he'll cheat me, but I divide my day into 12 hours. The first 12 hours of the day is non-negotiable. I take care of the things that no matter what the circumstances of the day, the weather, the interest rate, the delays, the arguments, the fear, the worries, the resentment, the guilt, the separation, no matter what, I'm getting a minimum amount of time on my sleep, a minimum amount of time on my health, a minimum amount of time on my family, a minimum of time on my finance, a minimum amount of time on my faith, a minimum amount of time studying time, and a minimum amount of time studying relativity of that time, the meaning of that time, making sure it's aligned with what I want that day. Then the other 12 hours of awake time, by the way, most of that's sleeping time, but a majority now of awake time, I have non-negotiable behaviors that are circumstantial. Now I need to prioritize what's important and urgent first, what's important second, what's urgent and not important third, and then what's not urgent or not important fourth. And I have non-negotiable behaviors. I study time. I pay attention plus give intention to the activities planned, unplanned, paid for, unpaid for, including my sleep. I pay attention and give intention aligned with where I want to be or better. And I align the meaning of the past as well. So now I'm aligning the meaning of the past because the only thing that limits me, limits my self-image is the meaning I give the past, the failure, the mistakes, the setbacks, the defining moments. And you will never overachieve your own self-image. And many women, by the way, they suffer from the meaning of the past, the defining moments, the historical relevances, the setbacks, failures, voids, shortages, and obstacles of their past, instead of aligning the meaning with the divine direction. But if you pay attention and give intention to time, do, say, think, feel, and believe in alignment with your divine direction. Not just being disciplined, getting so busy, disciplined, working that you forget to make money. Being so busy, disciplined, working, you forget to spend time on your health. Being so disciplined and working that you forget to spend time with your family, but instead knowing those are non-negotiable behaviors and staying in the divine direction, your discipline becomes devotional. And you pay attention and give intention to what you desire, and the coincidences will happen. The coinciding of the universe will occur. What you pay attention to and what you give intention to will equal the coinciding of the universe, the coincidences you desire.
I love how you say align it. We say the divine direction, right? Every with your time. I mean, it's so true. Like what you're going to give the time to, the direction that you're going to go, and you're aligned. That's how you will see the outcomes instead of wasting time away. Now, I know, David, fear holds many of us back, right? And what is the most practical way someone can begin eliminating fear from their daily decision making?
Yeah, you can't really eliminate fear. And so you have to understand that fear is omnipresent because uncertainty is always there. There's no certainty. There's no certainty other than you're given 24 hours a day, every single day of your life, except for the last day, you'll be cheated. There's no certainty on the weather, the interest rates, the stock market, the crypto market, your family, no certainty at all. And so instead of thinking you're going to get rid of fear, why not figure out how you respond to it? You see, when fear is present, uncertainty is present, the ego evokes the protection of self. And so you have an automatic response that creates another response, which is the need to be right, offended, separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, resentful, or worried, or many more things. If you can understand that instead of trying to resist that response, instead of trying to go over it, under it, through it, around it, lie to it, cheat it, manipulate it, deny it, instead of trying to out logic an emotion, which is impossible, out analyze an emotion, which is possible, there's only one response which equates to your free will, and that's to stop. When you identify the clues in the pattern of how you respond to fear, which is omnipresent, and instead of doing all of those things that create more fear, resist, or accelerate you in the wrong direction, instead, if you can just stop, remembering the simple things to do or simple not to do, stop and breathe, remind, remember, and recollect, get to center, and then roll into your divine direction, as you mentioned. Understanding that I just need to identify when my mind, body, or soul, or all three are on fire. And you notated early in this interview how wise my mom was. One of the lessons my mom gave me is if you're on fire, son, you better stop, you better drop, and you better roll. So when your mind, body, and soul are on fire, stop, breathe, drop, and roll into your divine direction. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Once again, I want to remind people to email me, david@dmeltzer.com. I'm happy to send you my books, my guides, my exercises for free. I'll sign it, send it to you, pay for shipping and the book. Just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Pearl, I appreciate all the opportunity and look forward to having you on my shows.
I would love that. This has been such a powerful and focused conversation. You have shared incredible tools for living a more aligned and intentional life, from understanding your values and prioritizing your time to practicing daily habits that truly support growth. We've also talked about the power of gratitude and how something so simple can shift your mindset, reduce stress, and bring more clarity and fulfillment into your life. David, there's so much more we want to talk about, but I want to be respectful of your time. Before we wrap up, what is one final message you would like to leave my listeners with?
Be kind. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Your life will be better. I appreciate you. I wish everyone many blessings to make a lot of money, help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. My name is David Meltzer. David means beloved. Meltzer means servant. Let me be that for you and your community. I appreciate, Pearl. You please invite me back, and I'll invite you on my shows.
Of course. Thank you so much. All the links for David will be in my show notes so you can get a hold of him. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you. God bless you.
Bye-bye. Thank you for spending this time with me here on Female Fluence, where we rise, reflect, and remember who we are. If something from today's episode spoke to you, share it with another woman who's ready to rise too. And before you go, download your free empowerment coaching guide at femalefluence.com. It's your next step toward living with more clarity and confidence. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Mashour_femalefluence. And if you're ready for deeper support, sign up for a free discovery call. I would love to connect with you. Remember, my friends, don't just exist. Live your life fully, bravely, and in truth. I'm Mashour, and until next time, stay true, stay powerful, and stay you.